Module 3, Brand Visual and Verbal Identity. Module Overview. Module 3 focuses on the tangible and intangible elements that communicate a brand's identity to its audience. This module explores visual identity, verbal identity, and the ways in which these elements combine to form a consistent, recognizable, and impactful brand presence. While previous modules covered branding fundamentals and strategic positioning, this module dives into the creative and communicative dimensions of branding, showing learners how to translate strategy into design, messaging, and experiential touchpoints that resonate emotionally and cognitively with audiences. You will understand how visual and verbal cues influence perception, strengthen recognition, and contribute to long-term brand loyalty and trust. Practical exercises and examples ensure that learners can apply these principles to real-world business contexts. 1. Introduction to brand visual identity definition and importance of visual identity as the first point of recognition and engagement. Key elements: logo, iconography, symbolism, simplicity versus complexity, scalability and versatility. Color palette, psychological associations, cultural considerations, primary versus secondary colors, typography, font choice, hierarchy, readability, and alignment with brand personality, imagery and graphics, photography, illustration, iconography, patterns and textures, packaging and environmental design, how products, offices, or retail spaces communicate brand values, principles of cohesive design, balance, contrast, repetition, alignment, and consistency. 2. The psychology of visual identity. How visual elements influence perception, memory, and emotional response. The role of color psychology in evoking feelings, trust, excitement, or professionalism. The impact of logos, typography, and imagery on perceived brand credibility and quality. Cultural and demographic considerations in visual identity design. 3. Brand verbal identity definition. The words, tone, and messaging style that communicate the brand's personality and values. Components: brand voice, consistent personality across all communications, friendly, authoritative, playful, formal, etc. Tone: context-dependent variations in communication style. Messaging pillars: core ideas and promises that the brand communicates consistently. Slogans and taglines: short, memorable phrases that reinforce brand identity. The importance of alignment between verbal and visual identity to maintain authenticity and credibility. 4. Consistency across channels and touchpoints, ensuring brand coherence across digital platforms, print materials, social media, packaging, advertising, and in-person interactions. Developing brand guidelines to document visual and verbal standards. The role of brand manuals and templates in maintaining uniformity. Best practices for audits and updates to adapt identity over time while remaining recognizable. 5. Practical applications and exercises. Designing logos, selecting color palettes, and choosing fonts for real or hypothetical brands. Drafting sample messaging, slogans, and brand voice guidelines. Conducting a brand consistency audit across multiple channels. Case studies of successful brand visual and verbal identity executions, e.g., Apple, Nike, Coca-Cola, and emerging local brands.